Peace, quickly, think fast. Being remembered on this realm is like having the highest score in a video game, or being one of the highest scores in a video game. You know, with this being, a Matrix, this movie. I just caught the download that the people who become almost like God-like figures within this realm. Because I was thinking about, like, well, it's not about trying to be a god of this realm. Like, say, for instance, of course, it's real. Let me get this straight about, realizing the God within and, and just being from there, but then having an aim on the egotistical level of like, well, your whole aim is just about making a name for yourself in this realm. And matter of fact, I've with that Capricorn energy, I definitely had flashes of that, like, wanting to have that fame approach, but then realizing that indirectly, from doing your work and doing what you got to do, doing what you signed up to come down here to do, the that quote unquote fame or recognition is gonna come with it. It's kind of like a Dr. Sebi or you know just certain people who bring forth information, but their names is ringing bells not because they like, oh, everybody, I'm aspiring to be known by everybody. It's more so like, well, no, I'm aspiring to save the world, or do, or not even say save the world, say aspiring to, help myself and others, you know what I'm saying? And through that, because you got to sustain yourself in order to help the world, sustain myself and help, others as I sustain myself or after sustaining myself, But again, though, it's, it's just a part of the territory, when you think about a Tupac, a Michael Jackson, a Bob Marley, these certain figures who shit, where they, their names would be around for, shit, probably eternity on this realm, in essence, because that's another thing to immortality in this realm, Matter of fact, I forgot it was something with Alexander the Great, where an old sage told him about, like, basically that he was gonna get immortality just from being a person that was, openly seeking it, and like you will be remembered just for being the motherfucker that was chasing it down, you know what I'm saying? Like, but again, it's more so like the highest scores within this game. Like, ooh, who got the high score? Make me think of Rick and Morty, where what it was. Marty was playing this little game. It's a virtual reality game, basically playing a game where he was somebody, in a whole different realm, and he was playing the game for so long, hint hint wink wink, that he forgot that he was actually in this other reality, in which I done spoke of that, like people playing a game inside a game inside a game. When you're actually playing a game console, it's like playing a game inside a game, and not to knock anybody who play the games. I done uh, probably picked up the joystick here recently, which again, just as long as we're aware of the fact that they trying to throw this in our face to take us away from realizing that we are the technology, making sure we still doing what we got to do to amplify our own abilities. But again, if we are consciously aware of that and working on that, ain't gonna kill us to play a game or two with some, with somebody or anything of that nature, But again, it's just like having the highest score, like and it don't matter whether because the human moralistic system, see things as good or bad, but it's like, Ronald Reagan, Hitler, uh, who, shit, George Bush, you know, uh, got like the Bob Marleys, the Michael Jacksons of the world, the Tupacs, you know, different people who whose name will be remembered in this game. You know what I'm saying? Because again, we come down here playing these roles, but these roles are not who we truly are. You know what I'm saying? Like we are gods, and we are a bigger and higher existence. So to speak. Some of my nose. Sometimes my hairs be shining off the light. Sorry for using this video as a mirror, but you know, matter of fact, authentic, you know, embracing the matter of fact, yeah, embracing the God on a human experience, but I am on a human experience, so I do some human type of shit. But that's the whole aspect, and two, it just helps to keep in perspective when I bring up these things like, oh, it's like scoring a higher score. It's like that's not just saying it just to say it. It helps to even further give another analogy to really grasp the concept of like, all right, like it really is like a game, and the people who you know do things to be remembered on the highest levels, ones who have a high like a high score, like some of the high scores on this game, but doesn't mean that we're trying to how can I say, stay here in essence. We might create this little vibe here in this game, but then it's on to the next, depending on our purpose, and what we signed up for. Some of us is on to the next. Some of us may be back in the reincarnation circle, coming back to this place because we never realized that we were reincarnating beings in the first place. So you get stuck in the loop. But that's basically it. Just wanted to give another analogy of how this is a game. And I thought about that Rick and Morty episode again with where Marty was playing this game, and I forgot the name of the guy, but he was basically playing a person, you know what I'm saying? And that was the game. And like, let's see how far you can make. Oh, he made it through his teenage years, or he doing this, working this kind of job, it's like people watching him play the game, which is really like life, in essence, until he realized that he was playing a game, and then he pulled out. That's why Rick and Morty be so so fire with the little analogies and messages. You know. But and you wonder again, if you would wonder like, well, why we don't remember nothing or this and that. Why would somebody want to come to a game like this? Well, for one thing, if you knew everything while playing this game, it would be boring. It wouldn't be, it wouldn't even pay to have no experience. If we knew everything that was, gonna happen and is going on, what I'm saying? It's like, well, why am I even, I could go back to just being in that one form of source then, and just sitting there in that consciousness, and then the other aspect to it is, again, with the dual natures, not being able to know how good something smells if something didn't stink. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't be able to be compassionate or passionate about somebody or miss anybody if you wasn't separate from them for a certain amount of time. Same thing with the aspect of God. We basically like playing hide and go seek with ourselves in essence. You know, to a certain extent as well. And like what I want to say is when I call myself, cause when you say God, people take that Sky Daddy image. I could feel that vibe, but again, we are gods. and we are, the aspect of the whole, in different little bodysuits, for different perspectives on this experience, but again, I was speaking to the God chasing itself. I forgot what I was, it'll come back to me. Speaking on being on a movie. Oh, like us separating, like separating for a little while allows for us to be passionate, about our higher self, and our higher mind, our God mind, our God body, our higher being, however you want to say it, the God within ourselves, uh, the fact that we're able to be separate from it, that's what makes the compassion, the love so much stronger, compared to if we was always around it. How could you miss something that you're always around? How could you be compassionate about something that you're always around? Bring up the example of the reptilians, because they had strong telepathy, they lack compassion, and you would be like, well, why would strong telepathy make you lack compassion? Well, if we always mentally connected every second on a second at all times, shit, I'm gonna get tired. Like, how could I miss your ass? I'll be like, oh, I miss you or I love you when we always fucking connected. It's like, fuck. It's like literally like that. And this is like when I'm explaining these things, it's just the best way. It may seem like I'm kind of, that's another thing I want to make sure I'm explaining, because sometimes, new people may come to the channel and it may sound like I'm just like, it's just me, going with the flow, expressing myself, but more so not expressing myself, expressing, this information in a way that's, digestible, you know, in a way that's, again, the whole vibe of, like, again, I don't necessarily call myself a teacher, but, with sharing, information and, dealing with philosophy, is being able to take, especially more so too closer to the shaman vibe of like, taking information from the unseen realm and bringing it to the seen realm. Unseen, I feel like all realms is seeable. It's just with what eyes you could see it with. But it takes the ability to take infinite information that ain't even, our words not even made to deliver the message of, the information that exists on some of these high realms, So what a lot of us be doing, that's why like we have to be like black or white or melanin or like, just using these different little 3D terminologies for lack of better words, to to explain these situations the the best way possible, you know, without lowering our vibration. It's like trying to deliver it, but not going too 3D, but enough to where the message, excuse me, get delivered. But again, to get your little high score on, but for the most part, it's it's not chasing that, like, oh, let me and again, putting in perspective, you know let's just say more so it's about dealing with our life purpose, because some of our life purpose may be to be an actor or somebody, that in essence your job kind of does, to a certain extent, not say for instance you're egotistically in a detrimental way to your soul seeking attention, but because your occupation in essence, or or your hobby, or your your purpose, doing what you love, calls for you to be, you know but again, it just comes natural with us doing our work, no matter what uh, vibe you on. You know, you eventually get there. And again, that's a lot talking to myself because I always have had to catch myself, with that vibe, especially checking it with being in LA because you don't want to look for the fast lane. You start to realize how fast the fast lane is when you make it out there to LA and you get to see, like just the like how I say the people selling their souls and just all this shit for like that's real stuff. You know, so you definitely don't want to be chasing no fame or nothing in this round. It'll come to you. Dude, just take care of your soul purpose, be the greatest you could be, cause that's the thing, like all of us uniquely, yeah, we might have a twin somewhere in the world, somebody that kind of look like us or act like us a little bit, this and that, but nobody could do us the way we do us, you know. And coming down here to do us, meaning do us, not to do what my mom said to do, not to do what, of course we take little advice and, certain things from family, just anybody, we could use that information. But again, the only person that could do you is you, not the next person telling you information, but yourself, like like I came down here to be me. My daddy came down here to be my dad. My mama came down here to be my mom. My sister came, like, and I'm saying like sister mom, but like everybody came down here to be themselves. Like that's the whole uniqueness to the experience as well. You know, because matter of fact, speaking to following other beings and stuff like that. Again, realizing, that in essence, like, ye are gods, we are gods, you know what I'm saying? Just in different little bodysuits and different little perspectives. And it's for us to be true to our soul and not following anybody else's blueprint. Because in essence, even without you calling out the name of saying that you are worshiping something, indirectly you fall into the vibe of worshiping something again just by not being yourself to the fullest by doing this just like do this like universal frequencies. I do this like infinite waters, do this like Pharaoh, do this like Brother Panic or whoever, you know what I'm saying, like throwing out these names for examples, like is doing it like for your inner guidance, doing it for yourself, like you know what I'm saying, because then you being ruled by indirectly, again I say rude, but like in a worship mode of, like, say for instance me or somebody else, whoever trying to be exactly like, and it's like, nah, it's not about trying to be, of course you borrow the information that resonates with you from certain people and certain habits that certain people may do that's beneficial for you, of course, but following somebody to a T on a blueprint level of, like, characteristics of personality and how you carry yourself and just being true to your being, like you more shy than others for a reason, or you laugh loud for a reason, or you joke a lot for a reason, like it, like something that you are great at, you know what I'm saying, and it's for you to be you. And I know I took this video away from just being about, the scoring the highest score in this Matrix game, but all this had to be said at once. That's good for the information, the parallel. That's why a lot of videos, it'll be, I call it one thing, but it got all kind of other little gems hidden. Because I do feel the importance of, like, when you're talking on one subject, especially when I'm on a roll like that, I take advantage. Like, I don't let my memory go in vain. If I see the memory popping, I'm like, I'm going, I'm running. I'm gonna speak as long as I can. That's why my think fast sometimes turn into 20, 30 minute long videos. But remember that, again, being your own guide. The moment you go to trying to be like somebody else or follow some other guidelines, you know, you're going almost falling under the worship of, that energy in essence. You know. That's why like for myself, like I realized that I am from like that same soul, you know, you could say higher soul of that Papa Legba energy, but realizing that at the end of the day, like I'm an extension of that love tribal energy, but I'm down here to still be universal. You know what I'm saying? But be true to the being of of myself and not to the being of Papa Legba. Again, of course, I embody that energy, and that's being true to my soul self, because I just soulfully resonate with that energy, but not to the point of not, you know, again, being true to myself and like one could ask, well, how you would know if you following the pop, because for me, and I can only speak for myself, from my experience, you know, like I feel like as a energy, let me know like, oh no, you kind of falling too much under this energy, because it didn't happen before working with my altar, and like I got a on an acid trip, it kind of let me know like, all right, you might want to be uh making sure you dealing with the ancestors in a more particular level, let's just say like that. And that's how, again, learning from experience, knowing that's why, so it's not just me reading a book and oh well, you shouldn't say this to the ancestors, this book say you shouldn't do, like that's another thing. Like everything that's dealing with me is through experience, like unless I say, hey, I got this from this book or this or that. But for the most part, I be seeing like, all right, this actually don't work when you do this, or this actually don't work when you do that. Like even down to manifestation, I'm like, you might not want to look at the like some people may look at the glamorousness of my experience and see that it lacks glamorousness, so they may think that he ain't manifesting the abundance magically like he should be. It's like, nah, for one, I just got a problem working out the problem with it's no longer finding that getting that balanced flow of saving and spending. you know but for the most part, like I done found the science is, and it's a tricky place, but it's like finding that balance of focusing on what you want and focusing on it in a positive manner, in a way that's like seeing it here, like you're not focused on the lack of it, like you're not shouldn't be looking at like to manifest a crystal because you focus on not having crystals. You want to be focused on having that crystal. You know what I'm saying? And that's the main thing that throws us off, is that we don't realize that we subconsciously be in that mode of focusing on whatever it is not being there. And it's like you gotta focus for that. Meditate, clear the mind in the morning, have your little focus, visualizations and affirmations of what it is. But then you back off of that and you go to doing something within your day, and you got to do something that completely puts you in your now, and you got to get to a place to, in essence, almost feel like you don't give a fuck about what you was asking for. And that's where that oxymoronic little paradoxical place is, what a struggle may be at for most people, because even somebody that's very skilled and been reading and dealing with this information, and it done showed itself as like a sweet spot. Like how I got a donation today, and it came in when I was cutting some trees outside. You know, like again, doing some shit that had nothing to do with me dealing with my YouTube channel and stuff like that, and then it come. Of course, it was, stemming from my YouTube channel and dealing with that type of work, but it it really, manifesting came through because I wasn't sitting around like, oh yeah, I hope a donation come in or this. It's like, nah, I'm out there cutting trees, and all I could focus on is trees and cutting this down. It wasn't nothing else coming in to block. You know, and that's when you first stepping into learning about manifestation and dealing with it. That's one of the tricky areas is dealing with that area. Of again focusing, but then you gotta back off with your focus and go to being in the now, doing something that completely indulges your conscious mind in essence. Again, like just any task or doing something that you love, or that just where you in the moment with it. Because I mean, I don't necessarily love to cut down trees, but shit, I was doing it because I'm at my mama house, helping mama out. So it's like, out of love or the help for that, and just being in the now, like I'm sawing trees and shit, and sawing little limbs, because I had a little storm pass through, not just out there killing trees. I heard the little tree people like, are you just out there sawing trees? No. And already basically limbs had done fell, but again, the manifestation came when I was doing that. Something completely unrelated to, what brings in revenue for me. So, but that's it. Again, just remembering that this is a game. Matter of fact, check out some of my older videos, and again, I gotta get into making some more playlists again tonight, so it could be easier to get to these videos, because like a lot of these concepts again spoken on in older videos will help bring everything in full circle, because I'm basically making like a little library, building everything up, but I'm doing it on a level where I'm just doing the videos on the fly in essence, because I think about like labeling like certain playlists. I'm like, I want to just make sure I get the content out there, because it's about now, like like the channels be coming through in the moment, but like still making sure though that I organize and get these playlists together as well, because 1,000 videos is a lot to just be going through. But you know peace, happy now. Matter of fact, don't forget to hit the like button if you like the information, and also got the donation link underneath mostly all the videos. So if you appreciate any other information, want to support on that level, I do have a PayPal link, and also my Instagram page, Universal Frequencies. As a matter of fact, and that my Instagram page link, and like even the link to my Instagram page that I post my jewelry on is all underneath my videos. So, but appreciate the love and support, domestically as well as internationally, all the family. Peace, peace, y'all. Happy now. Now's the vibrate, of course. Not too far in the future. Not too far in the past. Right now.